The RPM's jumping up and down, bring the clutch up and then back on the gas with the brake still on, and you can feel lots of vibrations making lots of noise. I'm going to show you how to avoid burning your clutch. I'm also going to show you some of the things that you think are burning your clutch but are not. Let's get into it. So before we get started, let me know in the comments if you think this is burning the clutch or not. So if I'm trying to reverse slowly, I'm going to keep my clutch there like this, just around the biting point, up and down around the biting point. Let me know in the comments, do you think this is burning the clutch, yes or no? So when it comes to changing gear, you're supposed to come off the gas fully before you change gears. But what you see some people do is they'll keep the gas on and then change gear, and then the RPMs are too high as well when you lift the clutch up, and that's going to cause a lot of damage to your clutch. So whenever you're doing a gear change, you want to make sure that you're off the gas fully before you do the gear change. So okay, once I move off and I get second gear speed, off the gas, clutch down, bring the clutch up and then back on the gas. That way there's not too many RPMs when I'm changing gears, they're in a nice range, and therefore you're not going to burn the clutch. So when you're going slowly uphill in traffic and let's say you start rolling back, what some people do is they'll add lots of gas now and try to catch the car. If you're rolling back that far and then you're bringing the clutch up to the biting point, adding lots of gas, that's going to burn the clutch. Instead, if you find yourself rolling back too far, press the brake straight away, get the biting point again, and then add the right amount of gas and then move off. There's no need to rush this. If you're rolling back, just take your time to save yourself and do it in a way that's not going to burn the clutch. So let me show you. So let's say I've stopped now and then my car starts rolling back. I'll brake straight away, get the biting point, add some gas, and then smoothly off the clutch. That way the car's nicely controlled and also I don't burn the clutch. Another easy way to burn the clutch is what's called riding the clutch. So driving with your foot pressed down on the clutch like this and then adding gas. And when you do this, you're going to see the RPMs jumping up and down on the rev counter there. So to make sure that doesn't happen, if you're not comfortable just placing your foot here, put it on the side when you're driving along so that you don't press it by mistake when you're driving along. And one way you can tell that you're riding the clutch is if you're pressing the gas and nothing's happening, you're just seeing lots of noise. Like now, I'm pressing the gas, but then it's just revving, but it's not really going anywhere. It's because the clutch is down when actually it should be up. So now when I press the gas, you see, the car responds to what I'm doing rather than just making noise. If it's making noise and not going anywhere, you're more than likely riding the clutch, and you should make sure that you come off the clutch so it doesn't burn. So when it comes to moving off, you do want a bit of gas, which will make it a lot smoother and a lot faster, especially when you're joining fast roads. Ideally, you want just above 1000 RPMs, but where you're going to burn the clutch is when you're trying to move off and you got this much gas like this, and especially if you do it for too long. That amount of gas for a sustained amount of time is going to burn your clutch. Eventually you're going to start smelling the burning smell inside the car. So if I was to move off here and I use this much gas like that with my clutch down, this is going to cause the clutch to burn. What you should be doing really is, as you're moving off, add this much amount of gas. Between 1 and 2000 RPMs is going to be more than enough. Any more than that, you're likely to be burning the clutch. It's a good idea to get the biting point before you move off, but what you see a lot of people doing is they will keep their foot on the brake for too long. So like, let's say I'm trying to move to this car now, and then I've got my clutch at the biting point. Now I should be letting go, but what you see is they will try to move with the brake still on, and you can feel lots of vibrations making lots of noise. If you keep doing this for too long, that is going to burn your clutch. What you should be doing instead is, once you're ready to move, so let's say I get my biting point, come off the brake and then add some gas. That way you're only at the biting point for a very short time, and therefore you're not going to burn the clutch. So right now we're on a quite steep hill, and I'm going to reverse up this hill, and I'm going to show you how you can burn the clutch this way as well. And some people, when they see these videos, they say, oh, you're not on a hill. Trust me, this is a hill. Look, as soon as I put my handbrake down, the car rolls forward, and this road is called Uphill Grove, so you can't get any more uphill than that. Yeah, so we're going to get into reverse. What some people do here is, let's say we're trying to reverse now, they'll have the clutch there and then have way too much gas while they're going up the hill, yeah, like this. And eventually, if you keep doing it like this, you're gonna burn the clutch. On a hill, you do need a bit of gas to help the car up the hill, and the best way to do that is get the biting point first of all, and then add a little bit of gas, so around 1500 RPMs, and then maybe clutch down again a little bit to control your speed. As you're putting the clutch down again, make sure you're coming off the gas. So clutch down, off the gas, clutch down, off the gas. I don't need to put my gas on the whole time, because when I put my clutch down, the gas doesn't need to be on. Yeah. So when I put my clutch down, I don't need any more power. So I can put off the gas and clutch down. That way, you're not going to burn your clutch. If you're on a hill and you're in traffic, it's not a good idea to hold the clutch at the biting point there for too long, just to keep the car still, especially with the gas on. This is gonna put too much strain on the clutch. It's okay for a short time. Let's say you're moving and then the traffic stops for a second and then you get the biting point and then you move on again. That's not gonna do much damage. But if you're just holding the clutch there for ages, or if you're in a junction and you're just holding the clutch at the biting point for too long, this is not ideal. This is putting a lot of strain on the clutch. The car is trying to move, but it's on a hill and you're keeping it at a point where it's gonna be putting too much strain on it and eventually it's gonna burn. So you can do it for a short time, but don't do it for too long. If you're moving off down a really steep hill like this, you can move off in second gear. It's actually a good idea to do that because it's so steep that once I move off now like this, by the time I get here, I'm already kind of doing second gear speed and it's really smooth that way. But where you're gonna get an issue is if you're going uphill or on a flat surface and you're trying to move off in second, you might burn the clutch that way, and I'll show you what I mean. So now the road is going uphill this time. Second gear is not ideal for this. I should be in first, but if I try to move off now, to move off properly, I'll need lots of gas. Otherwise the car will stall. And by using lots of gas like that, you're going to increase the chances of your clutch burning. So in this kind of case, make sure that to stop your car from struggling, that you're in the correct gear, which is first. And then once you've made sure it's safe, you can move off smoothly without burning your clutch. Your clutch will burn if there's something holding it back and there's a lot of strain on the clutch. And the handbrake is one of those things that could hold the car back when you're trying to move off. Sometimes you don't even realize that the handbrake is on, and then you do your checks, you start moving. It might feel a bit slow and you're thinking, why is the car moving slow like this? It's because your car is working extra hard. The clutch is working way more than before to move the car, and then you might get an alarm like this telling you that your parking brake's on. So in that case, just make sure you put it down and keep moving. So to prevent that from happening, make sure you don't see any handbrake symbol on the dashboard when you're moving off. Let me know in the comments if you've ever done any of these and if you've ever burnt your clutch. Let me know in the comments if you've done any of those things and if you've ever actually smelt your car's clutch burning. Thanks for watching, guys. Make sure you subscribe for more like this. I'll see you in the next one. They'll bring the clutch out really quick like this or really high like that, and then hold it for a few seconds. You need to be at 1 with the clutch. And what do I mean by this? Notice the difference now between the way I was moving my clutch. I'm just bringing up a tiny bit, and then only now I'll start thinking about braking, but then it's too late now, and then the car is shaking, struggling with my gears, and it's not a nice stop. But then learners will press it down like around here, and you saw